What is up, my simple cooks? It's John here from Simple Cookery. On this channel we upload simple recipes and cooking techniques to help you become more confident in the kitchen. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing down below. Anyways, today we're making a Philly cheesesteak. So let's go through the ingredients we'll need for today. Now this recipe serves 2 people. We've got 1 brown onion which I've finely sliced, 2 long crusty bread rolls, some provolone cheese which I've cut into small pieces to help melt at the end. But if you can get these finely sliced, I recommend you do that. It's going to make the melting process much easier at the end. Let's talk about the steak, the most important ingredient in this recipe. Now the steak that we're going to use is called ribeye steak. Well, this is what they actually call it in other parts of the world, but in Australia we actually call it a Scotch fillet, but they're the same things. Ribeye, Scotch fillet, just make sure you get the proper steak. And what we're going to do is chill the steak in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes, and that's going to allow us to cut the steak into thin strips. Anyways, let's get into the cooking. Okay, steak has been chilled in the freezer for 20 minutes. It's hardened up now, so it's perfect to slice into thin strips. Don't be afraid to take your time here. We really want to get the beef nice and thin. Perfect. Beef is all sliced up. Now bunch the meat together, and what you're going to do now is run your knife through the meat. Do this a couple of times and what you'll be left with is this mince-like texture. Then season the meat with salt and pepper. Heat a pan over medium-high heat. Drizzle a bit of olive oil in and add in your finely sliced onions. Saute the onions until they're softened down and golden brown. Then push the onions to the side of the pan. So what you want to do now is shift the pan so that the empty space is placed over the hottest spot on the stove. This will make sure that when you add your steak into the pan, it's nice and hot, which will give the meat a dark brown crust. Drizzle a bit of olive oil onto the empty side of the pan and add in your meat. What you want to do now is cook the pink out of the meat. When the meat is no longer pink, mix it together with the onions. Separate the mixture into 2 sections and place the provolone cheese over the top. Lower the heat to a medium low and cover the pan with a lid for 1 minute. This will create a mini oven and help the cheese melt. Lift the lid up and look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's serve this up. Open up your bread roll and spoon that beef and cheese goodness in. Of course, we've got to slice this in half to reveal the delectable cross section. That's what I call a sandwich. That, my friends, is a Philly cheesesteak. I mean, like, just look at that cheese. Steak, cheese, onions, like, you just really can't go wrong there, can you? Now, let's just recap a few tips we learned from this video. When you're cooking the onions in the steak, make sure to use the highest heat that you can. When you're melting the cheese, cover it on top with a lid. It's going to help the cheese melt really quickly. And last of all, use a wooden spatula to break up all the meat and the onions in the pan, because unless you want to destroy your pan with a metal one, I recommend using a wooden one. That's about it, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment down below letting us know what other recipes you'd like to see on this channel. Also, if you want to see the next episode, make sure you subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell button to get notified of our weekly videos. On this channel, we upload simple recipes and cooking techniques to help you get more confident in the kitchen. Anyways, I'm out. Dude, what are you wearing, man? Alright, that's it. Look at this. Oh, cheers.
Oh yeah.
Damn. What do you think about this recipe?
Yeah, I think it's so easy and simple.
Yeah.
As usual, that's why we call it simple cookery.
Not something you should be having every day, but as a treat, this is good.
Yeah.
Try this at home. Alright. See you guys.